can't help but think the DAZN and Eddie Hearn are just not doing much good for Demetrius Andrade. You know, is he getting played by the DAZN and Eddie Hearn? What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak your mind, sports talk. All right, check it out, man. We'll talk about Demetrius Andrade. And if anybody gives that guy enough heat, it's me. I give Demetrius Andrade all kind of heat. I give a lot of fighters heat. You know, nobody's above criticism or below praise. So if they deserve praise or to be protected, then I'll do that. If they deserve the flame, the heat, then they'll get that. But in this instance right here, I can't bash Demetrius Andrade right now. I have to take aim at Eddie Hearn and DAZN. And it's really concerning, this whole GGG, Jaime Munguia, Demetrius Andrade situation. Now, I put a video up months ago, last year actually, about prior to Canelo going into the fight with Callum Smith. I put a video up about Demetrius Andrade, stating how, what is he going to do? Why isn't he getting himself into a unification match or so forth? Fight GGG, fight Murata, forget about Jamal Charlo. What are you going to do with yourself? And I also said that Demetrius Andrade should, at that time, this was before Canelo fought Callum Smith, I said Demetrius Andrade should utilize his WBO exclusion to get a fight with the champion at 168, which was BJS. And had he done that, he would have been in position to fight Canelo right now. But I still want to take aim at Eddie Hearn and DAZN here concerning Demetrius Andrade, because back at that time, GGG did not have a fight. Murata did not have a fight. And Eddie Hearn and DAZN were doing nothing to put Demetrius Andrade in a unification match with either of those guys. Now, these are guys that are on the same platform, man. When it comes to the PBC platform, we give them all kind of heat because they don't put those fighters together. They won't work with other networks, but they have fighters, champions within, Caleb Plant and Benavidez never fighting each other and all of that nonsense, So we'll give PBC the same heat when they have champions and they don't pit them together. They don't give us unification matches. Well, what's up with DAZN? I mean, I know they're new, but they got the man, as far as I'm concerned. I revere Eddie Hearn as one of the better promoters in the game right now. And they have the man at the helm. So what's the excuse? How come Demetrius Andrade is not getting a valid fight against another champion? And I'm going to break this down a little bit more, man. Because I brought up the Canelo situation when I was clamoring on myself about how Demetrius Andrade should utilize his WBO exclusion to get the BJS fight and put himself in position with Canelo. But let me throw some heat on Eddie Hearn and DAZN here, right? Because at that time, why wasn't Eddie Hearn and DAZN trying to make a unification match between Demetrius Andrade and GGG? He had nothing on the table. He just barely made it through Derevyanchenko. He ends up fighting a Cerameta, which he expelled no energy in that fight. Why wasn't we talking about Demetrius Andrade, right, and GGG? What is up with Murata? He's under the DAZN moniker. Who is he fighting? He was just elevated to super champion when Canelo relinquished his belt. Right? So, back to the GGG situation with Eddie Hearn and DAZN. You guys never even tried to set that fight up. Make these two champions get in the ring. That's what the fans want. They want to see champions fight champions. And so, then you hear Oscar De La Hoya step in there. Now, remember, Eddie Hearn is the liaison for DAZN, not Oscar De La Hoya. You just have your little deal and you do basically what they tell you. It's Eddie Hearn that's the liaison for DAZN. He's the guy moving around out here in boxing, making things happen for DAZN, right? So how do you let Jaime Munguia step in front of Demetrius Andrade, Eddie Hearn, and DAZN for a match, which ended up being a fugazi situation? And I knew that back then. But now things are starting to look fishy because you guys have all of this talk going on, Jaime Munguia, GGG, Jaime Munguia, GGG, which that puts Demetrius Andrade out of the conversation during that time. And you drag this facade on that Jaime Munguia seeing GGG playing around with Oscar, right? So what? Andre has to do something. So he goes on and he takes a Liam Williams fight. Well, the Liam Williams fight goes to purse bid or threaten to go to purse bid. They come to an agreement and it's put in play. So now he's fighting Liam Williams. Coincidentally, the GGG and Jaime Munguia fight never materialized. And now Jaime Munguia is fighting Sulecki, a former opponent of Demetrius Andrade. Well, see, the problem with me here is that they should have never been putting a green, still need more work, Jaime Munguia. He should have never been in the conversation. And that was never a bigger fight than Demetrius Andrade and GGG to begin with. That was the unification match. You got GGG, Andrade, and Charlo and all of these crying for Canelo, but they won't fight each other. Now, Eddie Hearn, you were in position to put GGG and Andrade in a fight together. You were in position to petition the WBO to have Demetrius Andrade fight Billy Joe Saunders. You didn't either. So now he has no Billy Joe Saunders fight. He's not getting a shot at GGG, and he has to take on the challenger in Liam Williams. And I totally accept the Liam Williams fight because personally, I believe that Liam Williams will be the best, toughest opponent on Demetrius Andrade's whole damn resume. However, what are you guys doing for your champion? It's totally ridiculous to me that Demetrius Andrade can't get a unification match. And you guys didn't work on it. You played around with Oscar and Jaime Munguia. That never happened. Now Liam Williams gets to fight Andrade. And what does Andrade get out the deal? Another fight that he's going to get minimal credit for if he should pass it. If he beats Liam Williams, how much credit is he going to get? He would have gotten a lot more credit fighting a Murata. He would have gotten a lot more credit fighting GGG unifying. We know Charlos and the PBC are not going to do business with DAZN. So that's out of the question. So I can't put heat on Demetrius Andrade. When I heard that Jaime Munguia and Sulecki was set in stone, it absolutely drove me livid, man. Because again, I give Demetrius Andrade enough heat for the lack of the things that he does, but this is not his fault, man. What is Hearn? You're a promoter, and you're the liaison for DAZN. Why aren't you making this happen? Why aren't you guys petitioning a unification with one of the champions, either Murata or GGG? But y'all make Demetrius Andrade settle for Liam Williams. And again, it's a good fight. No disrespect to Liam Williams, but it's not a better fight than a unification match. Which Jaime Munguia wasn't going to fight GGG. The talk should have been Demetrius Andrade and GGG. And so I just got to be honest, guys. I think, Demetrius Andrade has done enough things himself. I'm not taking all of the onus off of him because I've mentioned this before, the Rock Nation situation, the fact he didn't take the Korobov fight, the fact that he didn't take the Derevanchenko fight when he had the chance to do it. So he has his own problems. And he's caused some of his own issues. But now currently, man, I have to give this heat to Eddie Hearn and DAZN coming when it comes to Demetrius Andrade. I still got to give Demetrius Andrade some heat because, like I said, months ago before Canelo, before he even was in negotiations with Callum Smith, I said that Demetrius Andrade should try to fight BJS because at that point in time, Canelo still said that he was going to clean out 168. So it was perfect for Demetrius Andrade to petition the WBO for the fight against the 168-pound champion. And at this point in time, they probably would have fought already or BJS would have been stripped. But Demetrius Andrade would have been in line to fight Canelo. The fight that all of them are crying about anyway. It's not like Demetrius Andrade's doing a lot with his career. He's just crying about Canelo ducking him. So he could have gotten into that fight. But Eddie Hearn and DAZN was nowhere near instrumental of helping him do that. And not only that, they're not even being instrumental in helping Demetrius Andrade get a big fight. It's bad, guys. It's bad, and I have to give heat to Eddie Hearn and DAZN on this one because it should be Demetrius Andrade fighting Liam Williams, but they stalled him out on that, man. They put Jaime Munguia. They allowed Oscar De La Hoya to put Jaime Munguia and didn't even discuss a fight with Demetrius Andrade and GGG. And what is it that the fans would want more? Would we want to see Jaime Munguia and GGG, or would we like to see Demetrius Andrade and GGG? Definitely a fight Demetrius Andrade needs, but they didn't come through. They didn't get it for him. So I'm not going to give Demetrius Andrade heat on this situation with GGG. I'm not going to say anymore, why didn't Andrade fight GGG? I'm going to say that DAZN and Eddie Hearn are screwing Andrade. They're not even attempting to put this guy into the right fights. It's not all about Canelo. They're not giving him anything, man. And it's unfortunate. But you do, at the end of the day, reap what you sow. And Demetrius Andrade made some really bad business decisions leading up to this point, where he could have had better names on his resume. He could have been a lot more solidified. His stock could have been higher. And then maybe he would have warranted a Canelo fight. Because right now in the sport of boxing, as much as I hate it, this sport is about money. And if you're not doing something to put stock in your name, you could cry to fight these marquee fighters all you want, Demetrius Andrade. If you don't get in there and fight the right fights and put stock in your name, you're not getting these fights. And it's unfortunate because as a promoter, Eddie Hearn, you're supposed to promote. This is your job. You're the one who got him signed to DAZN. So you need to step it up when it comes to Demetrius Andrade. And Demetrius Andrade, good luck to you against Liam Williams. Win that fight well. And try to unify, man. Try to unify. So once you unify, pretty sure you'll be a valuable commodity. Or you know, move up to 168. Try to make some noise there. But you're going to have to do more, Demetrius Andrade. You're going to have to do more for yourself. Because clearly, it don't seem as if DAZN and Eddie Hearn are on your side right now, brother. It just doesn't seem that way. So I just want to touch on that about Demetrius Andrade because I give him enough heat, but I got to protect him this time. That GGG Jaime Munguia situation seemed really fishy to me, man. Really fishy to me because Demetrius Andrade had every opportunity to get locked up in the fight with that. Next thing I know, they're talking Jaime Munguia and GGG, which is complete foolery. And then the fight never materialized, but after Demetrius Andrade gets locked in with Liam Williams, that's fishy, man. That's fishy, and that's no good, especially when this is the younger champion between GGG and Andrade. Come on, man. You can make money off this guy, but they're not concerned with that. They're not concerned with pushing Demetrius Andrade forward, and it's unfortunate for the guy. But, you know, just wanted to touch on that, guys. Drop in the comment section. Tell me what you think, what your thoughts is. Look, please hit that share and the likes, man. Whatever you guys do, we got to get these video algorithms up. You know what I mean? So people can hear what the Speak Your Mind Sports Talk family got to say. And, you know, good luck to you again, Demetrius Andrade, in this fight with Liam Williams. And, you know, put your foot down, bro. Make Eddie Hearn and DAZN work for you. And y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.